Right. Yeah.
Contracted as a result. We don't know, but it seems weird to me 2.5 months in, you still don't know anything.
All right, so listen up. State Farm was trying to charge me $197 for car insurance. No, thank you. I got a friend who told me about this website, and now I'm spending $58 a month. Full coverage. That's saving $139. It's amazing. All you do, you just go to the site, you put in some basic information, and you get all these options that show up. People start saving right away. All you got to do is just go check it out. It's that simple. The link's below.
Welcome to TMZ Live. We broke a big story. There is movement in the case involving the death of a friend of singer David's, Celeste Rivas, who was found dead in his trunk back in early September. We now know that LAPD homicide investigators believe her death was a homicide and say he is the suspect, even though it has not formally come out as suspect.
I feel like, bro, there's no believing it. It's a homicide, brother.
They have eyes on David as the guy who they think did it.
Right. What they have uncovered to this point leads them to believe that he is the suspect and that this is a homicide. Now, we should say that the medical examiner has still not returned the toxicology results.
Nor has determined the cause of death.
Determined manner or cause of death.
And manner or cause of death is officially important because the coroner needs to weigh in, but it's not necessary. Even if the coroner said undetermined, and we don't know what he's going to say, or what the coroner will say, but even if they say undetermined, LAPD can still press forward with a homicide. But and we'll get into why the medical examiner hasn't weighed in yet, because there's a backstory here. But here's the deal. We know, as everybody does, that her body was found cut up in his trunk in early September. There is a really critical fact here, and that fact is this. According to investigators, we are told that they have evidence that David made a mysterious trip in the middle of the night back in the spring of this year to...
We all heard about that mysterious trip. Yep.
A remote area of Santa Barbara County, around 100 miles from LA.
That, I think, the key part of that.
And spent a couple of hours there.
Is that it was a remote area, and yeah, as you said, spent a few hours there. We don't know anything more than that at this point.
But here's what we know, because some people are saying, well, would he have brought Celeste there? The way it was put to us was not that he and
What y'all think?
Celeste went to this remote area. It was David went. So look, there are a couple of theories, and I'm not going to, say these are true. These are theories.
Mm-hmm.
I dare you to let me build you a completely free e-commerce store preloaded with 20 handpicked products that are trending all over the world, basically validated by AI from a trending product database from one of the top vendors on the planet. And the reason that we can do this completely...
Could be a body. It could be a weapon. But what's mysterious about this is if she, say, was killed in the spring, spring. Where was the body for June, July, August, and finally September?
There is still a whole other chapter of this to unfold. That what happened between whatever happened in the spring in that remote area of Santa Barbara, and then to go all the way to September and Celeste's body being found in the trunk of that Tesla parked here in the Hollywood Hills. There's who knows what could have happened at that point. But
the one thing we were told was don't try and use logic necessarily.
Right.
Because it may not be kind of a logical explanation.
Well, we also know that we had broken that story a couple months ago that LAPD did the sweep of the house that he was renting in the Hollywood Hills. They had tested it for forensics.
Might be logical.
And we know they're still waiting for some of those forensics to come back in addition to the toxicology from the medical examiner. Could he have killed her in the house? Again, just a theory. Could he have killed her in the house and then drove her to Santa Barbara and had planned to just get rid of the body in Santa Barbara and then panic and drive back to LA with her body in the car?
He was there for a couple of hours,
yeah.
and that's what's interesting.
Right.
Why, if you're going to dispose, why would you be there a couple of hours? And there's a lot we don't understand about that.
His mind
but we do know
panicking.
this. Santa Barbara is critical. And again, a theory, but I think this is a good one, that I think authorities believe her death was around that time. Because that trip is something that is front and center for LAPD robbery homicide.
One other very critical fact is that we're told that they believe the manner in which her body was dismembered leads them to believe that whoever did that, whoever dismembered her body, had help, that it was not just one person who was involved in the dismembering of her body.
And that in itself is interesting.
And that is interesting because that means they are, whether they know who those people are, but we don't know that they have any other suspects.
And finally,
but it does mean that there could be other arrests beyond whoever killed her.
And finally, to close this loop, why 2.5 months after the body was found has the medical examiner not determined cause of death and not given the toxicology report to the LAPD? I know it can take months for both of those to happen, but in high-profile cases, it can be accelerated. And it's weird to me that it wasn't. What I got back was the relationship between the medical examiner and the LAPD has been strained over the last few years. I'm not sure why. It's not unusual that that happens because sometimes they're working, they're technically working on the same path, but a lot of times they butt heads. But I'm told the relationship wasn't the greatest, and they may not have fast-tracked it as a result. We don't know, but it seems weird to me 2.5 months in,
Also,
you still don't know anything like that.
I would imagine that it is more difficult to nail down those results if the body had been.
The lead investigator gave him the mother's name and phone number and mentioned that it was a red tattoo,
yep.
And a day or two later, they identified her as Celeste.
Hey, my name is Latrell from Atlanta. This D4VD case with Celeste is a tragedy. I know LAPD, they're investigating it. I just prayed that they figure out what's going on with this and we get the facts right. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories on what he may have done, who might have helped, but we just need to get the facts, and hopefully he's innocent. If he's not innocent, then he will be convicted for his actions if it's true.
We will see.
We will see.
EVE Online is a vast universe.
Well, Dancing with the Stars got the moment that they've been sort of building
That's
up
it for
to
the
all
update.
season. Everyone was wondering when Zac Efron was going to show up to support his brother, who is doing very well this season. And it happened last night. So